You know what nobody tells you about being broke? You're literally paying double for everything. And I'm about to prove it to you in the next 60 seconds. Listen to this. A rich person buys quality boots for $200 that last 10 years. A broke person buys $40 boots that fall apart every year. Over 10 years, the broke person spends $400 on boots, while the rich person spent $200. You just pay double for the same thing, but it gets worse. Banks charge you $35 overdraft fees when you're already broke. Landlords won't give you a lease without perfect credit, so you pay more in deposits. Can't afford to buy in bulk? You're paying premium prices for single items every single time. Need a car loan with bad credit? Enjoy that 18% interest rate while wealthy people get 3%. This is called the poverty tax, and it's designed to keep you stuck in an endless cycle. The system literally punishes you for not having money by making everything more expensive. It's not your fault. It's math rigged against you. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how this trap works, and more importantly, the 5 specific strategies you can use right now to stop paying double and start keeping more of your money. If this already opened your eyes, smash that like button right now and hit subscribe, because I'm exposing these money traps every single week. All right, so you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, this poverty tax thing sounds wild, but how bad could it really be? Let me tell you, it's so much worse than you think, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works in your actual life right now. Let's start with something simple that happens to millions of people every single month: bank fees. When you've got money in your account, banks actually pay you interest to keep your money there. But the second you drop below a certain balance, suddenly they're charging you monthly maintenance fees. Chase Bank charges $15 a month if you don't maintain a minimum balance. That's $180 a year just for being broke. And here's the kicker. If you overdraft by even $1 because you miscalculated, that's another $35 fee. I've seen people get hit with 3 overdraft fees in one day because multiple small charges came through, and suddenly they're out over $100. Meanwhile, someone with $10,000 sitting in their account pays 0 fees and actually earns interest. The broke person is subsidizing the banking experience for the wealthy person. But let's move beyond banks, because this goes so much deeper. Think about how you buy groceries. If you've got money, you can go to Costco or Sam's Club, drop $200 and stock up for the entire month. You're buying that giant pack of toilet paper, the massive bag of rice, the bulk chicken that you can freeze. Your cost per unit is incredibly low. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't afford to drop $200 at once. So you're going to the corner store, buying what you need for today or tomorrow. That single roll of toilet paper costs you $3 when the bulk pack works out to 50 cents per roll. You're paying 6 times more for the exact same product simply because you can't afford to buy in bulk. Over a year, this difference is staggering. Studies have shown that low-income families pay up to 30% more for basic goods simply because they can't access bulk pricing. Now let's talk about transportation, because this is where things get really ugly. If you've got good credit and stable income, you can walk into a dealership and get a car loan at maybe 4 or 5% interest. Your monthly payment on a $20,000 car might be around $350. But if your credit is damaged because you've been struggling financially, that same car is going to cost you way more. You're looking at interest rates of 15, 18, even 22%. Suddenly, your monthly payment is $550 for the exact same vehicle. Over the life of a 5-year loan, you could end up paying an extra $10,000 just in interest. You paid half the price of the car again just because you were broke when you bought it. And here's something most people don't think about. If you can't even qualify for a car loan, you're stuck taking the bus or using ride shares, which seems cheaper until you do the math. A monthly bus pass might be $75, and if you need to supplement with ride shares for emergencies or late shifts, you're easily spending another $150 a month. That's $225 monthly for transportation that doesn't even give you the freedom and flexibility of a car. Meanwhile, someone who could afford to buy a reliable used car outright is spending maybe $100 a month on gas and insurance combined. Housing is probably the most painful example of all. If you've got money, you can buy a house. Let's say you buy a modest house for $250,000 with a decent mortgage. Your monthly payment might be around $1,500, and here's the beautiful part. You're building equity. Every payment is partially going toward owning something. In 30 years, you own that house completely. But if you're broke, you're renting. That same house, the landlord is charging you $1,800 a month because they need to cover their mortgage plus make a profit. You're paying more per month, and at the end of 30 years, you own absolutely nothing. You've paid almost $650,000 and have 0 equity to show for it. The person who could afford to buy has spent about $540,000 over 30 years and now owns an asset worth probably $500,000 or more. Now let's talk about something that hits during emergencies. Appliances and repairs. Your refrigerator breaks down. If you've got savings and good credit, You can shop around, find the best deal, maybe get a quality fridge for $800 that'll last 15 years. If you're broke, you can't drop $800 right now. So you go to one of those rent-to-own places. They'll let you take that same fridge home today for just $40 a week. Sounds reasonable, right? Except over the course of 2 years, you end up paying over $4,000 for an $800 refrigerator. You literally paid 5 times the retail price because you couldn't afford to pay up front. Even everyday things like laundry hit differently when you're broke. Got a washer and dryer at home? You're paying maybe $50 a year in electricity and water. Got to use the laundromat? You're dropping $6 to $8 every single week, which is over $400 a year for the same clean clothes. The healthcare system does this too. Can't afford health insurance? You're paying full price at the doctor's office. A simple visit that costs someone with insurance a $20 copay could cost you $200 out of pocket. And because you can't afford preventive care, small problems become big emergencies, landing you in the ER with a $5,000 bill you'll be paying off for years. Here's what makes me angry about all of this. The system is designed this way. It's not an accident. It's not bad luck. It's a structural feature of how our economy works. Being broke is expensive because everything is set up to extract maximum value from people with the least ability to pay.